Hello, good morning, student. Welcome back to our channel. Let us continue our third chapter from the section that is political science. In this chapter, we are going to learn about the topic that is human rights. So that in this human rights, obviously there are various kinds of the human rights that we are all enjoying. So the definition of the human rights, what are the kinds of the human rights that we all are enjoying. So this is the topic that we are going to have the discussion. Let us continue. In this chapter, we are going to learn about first of all the meaning of human rights, development, and declaration of the human rights, in which year that human right was declared, and the human rights and the Indian Constitution. So this is important topic that we are going to have the discussion. Next one, ways of implementing the human rights. How the human rights are implemented. How these human rights are made sure to be available for all the citizens. So these are important four topics that we are going to have the discussion. Let us continue. In this introduction, see the concept of the human rights has developed along with the growth of the civilization. So that what they are saying, this concept of the human right, it's not a new one. So this was existed even during the civilization. Obviously, we know that there were various civilizations like Indus civilization, Egyptian civilization, American civilization, Chinese civilization. Even at that time also, so human rights were available. See, it is essential for the peaceful living and coexistence and development of human being. So what they are saying, the human rights are very important, especially for people to live peacefully with coexistence and for development of human being. So without the human rights, that human being cannot develop, he cannot live in a peace, and there will be no any coexistence among the people. So because of that reason, human rights are very important, and human rights are the building blocks of the democracy. So that if you want to establish the democracy, then one should make sure that all the people in that country, they are enjoying human rights. And obviously in India, see here it is given, a renowned political thinker, that is J.S. Lasky, he declared that a nation cannot be identified through its human right. So that here can be identified through the human rights. So that J.S. Lasky, he is a political philosopher. He gave importance to the human rights. To what level he has taken the human rights to see one nation can be identified through its human rights. Whether that country, nation is good or bad, how democratically it is developed and all. So these can be assessed. So what kind of human rights are available for the people of that country? So this is the definition of our J.S. Lasky, political philosopher. See, human rights enable everyone to lead life of the dignity, and this ensure the development of better society. And hence the United Nations organization, which came into existence in the year 1945, so that has declared the human rights and has said it is the duty of every nation state, in the case obviously every nation, to protect the human rights in their own respective country. So this is the declaration made by United Nations of organization, that is called in short form UNO. So now it is a bond duty of every nation that they should make sure that human rights are available for the citizens of their respective country. So that human rights are essential for every human being to lead the life of the dignity, that already you know. And see here, human rights, we can say a right to assemble, right to education, right to thought, right to express your opinion, right to information, means you have to get the information what kind of the policies that government is making and all. So that is called RTE, RTI, right to information, right to speech, right to religion, right to movement, right to association. So that various kinds of the human rights we can identify. And one thing I would like to make it sure, see here whatever the human rights are given, so these are all already made available for the citizens living in our country, which we can get to see in fundamental rights. The roots of the human rights are traced to the Athens and Sparta, the two cities of the ancient Greek cities. Now let us understand in which state or city state this human rights came into existence for first time in the history of the world. So that Athens and Sparta, these are the two important name of the cities in ancient Greeks. Greeks means obviously today's Greek. Mm, and at that time there were two cities, that is Athens and Sparta. So these are the two important city state, rather we should call it as a city states. State means obviously they were a state but they were small in the size. Because of that reason they were called as a city state. So that in these Athens and Sparta were the two important city where the roots of the human rights can be traced back. In discussion of the Plato, Aristotle, Socrates on the relationship between the state and individual, human rights are discussed. See here you can see the picture. So he's Aristotle, Plato, Socrates. So these are the important three the philosophers, and they had given various examples, and they have discussed in their respective books like a Republic, the Politics, and all. These are the important books written by these famous three diamonds of the political science, we can say, and they had discussed about the relationship between the state and individual and human rights are. So these are the discussion we can get to see in the books written by great philosophers. Next one. See, now we are discussing about the how the human rights were developed. We are discussing about the human rights development, when they originated, how they developed. Already we know that the origin place of the human rights. Athens and Sparta, these are the two important cities where the human rights developed. Now, in the middle part, that is the Magna Carta or the Great Agreement, is a base for the English Constitution. So during the 1215 CE, the King John of England, he broke many ancient rules and tradition. Finally, as a result of this Magna Carta, one agreement was concluded by the king, that is called John King of England. Obviously, England earlier it was ruled by the king, queen, and all. So today also monarchy system of government we can get to see in England. Monarchy is kind of the system of the government, means it is a government. The head of that government will be the king or queen. So because of that reason, earlier that king, he broke the many rules and regulations and tradition. Then finally the people were given certain rights. This is called Magna Carta of England. And remember here, this Magna Carta of England took place in 1215. The people revolt against the king, pressing for their rights. So as a result of that, as a result of the fight between the people and the king, finally the king created into an agreement and signed, that is a Magna Carta. So since then to till now, the people of England, they are enjoying many human rights. So this is another important development in the world, especially with regard to the development of human rights in the world. So earlier we know that Greeks was the city, or city state where the human rights originated. Next come to the point, that is England. So that in England and 1215, so this is the year in which that King John, he made an agreement. As a result of this agreement, then people of England, they started to enjoy the certain rights. So this is another development in the history of human rights. Now during this, the government interference in the church came into an end, and citizens, they gained rights to have the private and ancestral property, and equality of all in front of the law was also assessed. Next, Magna Carta is an important development in the process of the modern democracy. So remember here how the Magna Carta is very very important, especially with regard to the development of the democracy, development of the human rights. So this is very very important. So Magna Carta, it was an agreement signed by John King of England in the year 1215. It is given. As a result of this Magna Carta, so these are important rights that people of England, they started to enjoy. And one more thing, so this Magna Carta agreement, it was a base for the development of the democracy. Already we know that most of the countries in the world today, they are having democratic kind of the government. So because of that reason, the base for today's democracy, it was obviously laid down in agreement that is called Magna Carta, which was signed by the person King John. Next one, John Locke. He's philosopher, political scientist, we can say. So the picture of this person, John Locke, you can get to see. So John Locke, he was a famous writer, we can say, and he's presented his first systematic discussion about the human rights, human beings' natural right. According to him, the basic rights cannot be given to any individual. Even individual is born with the rights of living and freedom. So what he is trying to say, then basic rights these cannot be given to the people. Why? Because already the people they are born with the rights. So if the people are born with the basic rights, especially right to live, right to freedom, right to expression and all, so if the people are born with these rights, then nobody can give and nobody can take them away. So this is what this John Locke is trying to convey. This gave prominence to the individual rights. So then all the people they started to study the book written by this John Locke, and every government they started to give importance for the human rights. So this is also the books written by John Locke, Plato, Aristotle. So these are also having their own role to play, especially in the process of making the human rights universally applicable or available. Next one, the bloodless revolution of 1688 worked in the support of this, and as a result, 1689 the Bill of Rights was implemented, and with the human rights were also legislative guarantee for the first time. So one more thing, what happened in England, same one bloodless revolution. For so here this is the revolution which took place in England, and obviously occurred in the year 1688. So this development also was very much supportive in the direction of the development of human rights. So finally, as a result of this bloodless revolution, then Bill of Rights was introduced in the Parliament. So finally, when the Parliament passed this bill, so that people they started to enjoy the more rights than ever before. Next one, the revolutions that took place in America, France, due to the influence of the John Locke, Rousseau, and Montesquieu. So these are also the very important. Remember here. So American Revolution took place after the bloodless revolution. Remember here, bloodless revolution took place in England, 1688, and after that one American Revolution took place, France Revolution took place, Italy unification, so many, Germany unification, so many things occurred. Especially American Revolution and French Revolution, these occurred because of the three writers, we can say. So that is John Locke, Rousseau, and Montesquieu. So they gave importance for the rights of the human being. So rights of the people they started to speak about. The finally, when the people they studied the book written by John Locke, Rousseau, and Montesquieu, the people they were understood that the rights are given by birth. So nobody can take away. If somebody is trying to take away the rights of the human being, then one has to fight for the rights. So that as a result of these understanding made by people, as a result of the books written by these philosophers, then American Revolution took place, French Revolution took place, and after this revolution, the people in America and they started to enjoy the rights. Even the people in France, they also started to enjoy the rights. Earlier, obviously, the France was being ruled by the king. Even America was being ruled by Englishers. American Revolution took place. As a result of that one, the people of America they started to enjoy the more and more rights. In the case of French, also same thing happened. So that these revolution, riots and all took place because of only one factor, because of only one need, that is a rights. So those are human rights. And American independence declared in the year 1787. Next one, Human Rights Declaration in France in the year 1789 is an also important milestone in the history of the human rights. The finally, with the dictatorship of the France, the was removed and French Republic came into existence. What they are saying? So earlier, this France it was being ruled by king or queen. Dictatorship kind of the government was there. Okay. So dictatorship kind of the government means it is a government where only one person rule as per his wishes. So he did not look for the wish, desire of the people. So whatever seems good for him, benefit for him, that will be done by him without taking the views of the people into consideration. This is called obviously dictatorship kind of the government. So now after the revolution of French in the year 1789, you can remember very easily 1789. Remember very easily 789, and before that obviously we have to add 1. Now in French Revolution, as a result of this French Revolution, dictatorship kind of the government was removed, and finally so republic or democratic government came into existence in France. Obviously in Germany, Japan, even France also this revolution occurred, but in future, in days to in further year this occurred. Next one, the development of human rights here, United Nations, this came into existence in the year 1945 after the Second World War. So these are the important persons who are responsible for. So one thing we should understand, so that there are totally 2 world wars. So that is the First World War and Second World War. So after the end of the First World War, so that League of Nations came into existence. Here it is given League of Nations came into existence, and it came into existence after the First World War, so that human rights of the people in the world can be protected. But it failed to do so because as a result of Second World War. Second World War occurred in the year 1939 and came into an end in 1945. And after the end of the Second World War, this United Nations organization came into existence, so that human rights in the further years can be protected. Now remember here it is given this United Nations organization, or even it is existed or it was made to exist by 3 persons: Stalin, Roosevelt and Churchill. Obviously Churchill he belongs to England, Roosevelt he belongs to Russia, and Stalin he belongs to USSR or Russia we can say. So these are 3 important persons who were responsible for development of this United Nations, which is meant to protect the human rights across the world. Here it is given preamble of United Nations organization. It will try to protect the future generation human rights, and it try to prevent the war. So this is that you can understand. This is not important, but let us move further. See, there were totally now if we come to the Indian Constitution, here also in India we have given few rights. 7 rights, fundamental rights are given in our original Constitution, and later by the year 44th Amendment in the year 1978, the right to property was taken away, and it was added to the 300A clause. Now totally there are 6 fundamental rights available for the people of India, and obviously in these 6 fundamental rights, so that human rights are also included. So that see here you can understand what are the important fundamental rights available for the people of India. So right to equality, right to freedom, right to education, and right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational right, and constitutional remedies. So totally there are 6 fundamental rights given to the people of India. Everyone living in India, citizens of India, they are able to enjoy the fundamental rights, and these fundamental rights are nothing but we can say human rights. See, human rights are universal in nature and are also necessary for the historic development of the human being. These uphold the dignity of human being, and the violators are not protected by the court of law. If somebody is violating the human rights, they are punished by the law of court. See, the fundamental rights are ensured by the Constitution. The violators are addressed by the Supreme Court and High Court, and the fundamental rights are specific in the nature and protected by the constitutional laws. So these are the important things that we should understand. So that United Nations organization even held meeting with all members of the member state in the year 1966, and has directed all the member states to remain committed to protect the human rights. An international human rights commission is also formed at international level, so that human rights in the world can be protected. So the supportive to this United Nation National Human Rights Commission, State Human Rights Commissions are also created at national level as well as state level. If you come to India, we are having one National Human Rights Commission, and in state government that is our Karnataka State Human Rights Commission. So these are working to protect the human rights at national level and state level. So with this I would like to end the video. In next video then further topics will be covered. Thank you.